Hello, everyone, and today I wanted to talk about um, what I feel is the electromagnetic uh, attraction of thoughts to yourself. How these thoughts have almost like an electromagnetic attraction to yourself, and how they have this power once we are identified with them. Um, because essentially thoughts should be able to flow through us relatively easily. And depending on what we have identified ourselves to be, certain thoughts tend to stick to us a little bit more so than just your regular everyday thought. Um, and these, throughout our lives, we tend to be put into challenges for a particular reason because apparently we have grown to a certain level, and these these challenges tend to be what most people would refer to as something negative, but what they're really designed to do is to try to grow beyond that particular ego structure. So that process of growing beyond that ego structure, there is a you can actually, if you're very aware of it, can actually feel the pulling of these thoughts away from you. It's like they just want to continue to come in. The best example I guess I can use about this, I think most people could relate to, is a relationship that you may have had that uh, you eventually broke up with a person. And as you broke up with the person, there's all these thoughts that come in because you were attached to the, not really the person, but the idea that you had of the person. Because if that person was right for you, you would probably still be with that person. It was an idea in your head that you had that person. You never really actually even saw the person. You were just having this idea in your head of what that person should be. And not to say that that idea was right or wrong. It's just that that is who you have decided is the right person for you. So life is going to go ahead and try to put challenges in front of you to either decide. It's either, okay, do you want the the new version of what you have identified through this person? You've identified certain desires about what you want in a relationship. Do you want to choose that, or do you want to stay with the person that you are? And if that is the case, you need to give up this. So it's just one or the other. So the challenge is going to come because there's a separation, a difference in what you have decided that what is you want, what it is that you want, and what it is that you have. And so this separation of what reality is right now, because obviously you are with this person. So there's these thoughts that are running through your head and stuff, and depending on where you are, if you're thinking about this person, you're going to have negative emotions towards the person that you are with. These are the thoughts of this new version of you. You can release those if you want. You could just say, no, I have decided that I really want to be with the person that I am. And so those thoughts will come in and you recognize them as not you. And then they'll want to come back in and then you recognize that that's not you. Or the reverse will happen. You'll break up because there was just what you wanted. You could just tell this person was not right for you. So, and you decided that this is the person that you are. And so now you separate. And because you separate, all of a sudden, because you're this person and they weren't that, it's still this, that why weren't they that person? And so those thoughts, the thoughts of, why couldn't she be this person? Why couldn't she be this and stuff? It's still like attached to you, and you have to kind of separate from that if you're ever going to fully transition into this person, because you're still like stuck in the middle. You identify that this isn't what you want, but you're still stuck saying, but she's not this, she's not that, and this is what I want, but she's not this, but she's not that. And that's where you are. Now, once you release all that negativity, all those thoughts, you can finally uh, meet the person that you're looking for. But these thoughts don't really have a life of their own. They are attached to you. They need you to feed into it and believe that you are those thoughts. And again, it's much easier once you understand that you are the space that allows those thoughts to be. You can kind of wake up out of those instances where the thoughts are feeding through you. These thoughts are just, all of a sudden, they'll start to come through. They want you to follow them. They want you to just say, okay, this is what, you listen to this thought and then come to this thought and then come to this thought, and just keep feeding into that stream of thinking. And if you don't wake up out of that and just say, no, I don't choose to follow that stream of thinking. I choose to put my attention on my present moment. I choose to put my attention in my hands. I'm going to feel my hands for a second. I'm going to take a breath and blow it out and feel the air coming out of my lungs. Feel it flow out of my nose, my mouth. Just feeling and being present within my body instead of in my thinking processes, instead of feeding into a stream that's not productive for myself. You can tell if it's productive for yourself or not because you'll know how it feels for you. So again, once you are able to notice that, you can choose to step out of it. But those thoughts are going to continue to come in. It's not like the first time you jump out of those thoughts, all of a sudden it's just like, okay, that's it, they're gone. They're going to wait and they'll come back again, because again, you're still close enough to the vibration of where they are that it's just going to continue to come in. And of course, the closer you are to the event of whatever it is, whatever challenge that was there that caused you to try to separate from that ego structure, the stronger the attraction is, of course. So as you try to separate and say, no, I'm not that person, 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 the spaces get farther and farther away, but they will still try to trick you, still try to come in. It still allows you to, you could go right back into that if you wanted to. I mean, the choice is still there. You have to make that choice of, no, I'm not that person. No, I'm not that person. No, I'm not that person. And do that enough times to where the gap is too far for it to come back in. You've created enough space between you and that thought that eventually, if that thought comes through, it's just like any other thought. It just will flow through, and there's no attractive force to it. You can watch it and just be like, I recognize it as not yourself, and that's all there is to it. There's no pulling and neediness and uh, um, addictiveness to that thought. And this is actually how all of reality seems to work. Even manifested reality is like that. And this is what the whole meaning of law of attraction is if you're able to, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but if you're able to, let's say you're in a place where your environment is very poor, and you just kept on envisioning, no, I'm a wealthy person, no, I'm a wealthy person, no, I'm a wealthy person, and then you wake up and then you're in your reality and you're poor and stuff like that. But you just keep on disidentifying from that. No, I'm a wealthy person. No, I'm a wealthy person. And imagine that as your reality, more so than your current reality. And you just kept on doing it and just kept on creating space. And even, when you saw your current reality, you would just say, no, that's not me. I'm Mr. Rich Person. No, that's not me. I'm just a rich person. No, that's not me. I'm just a rich person. You just kept on doing it until you became that person, and the thoughts that came in your head were that of a wealthy person. And all of a sudden this idea will come into your head, and it would be of what a wealthy person would do. And that's what a lot of law of attraction people have said. All of a sudden just this aha moment came with this brilliant idea that they became rich, but it was because of the process of what they were doing. Ultimately, this is also how enlightenment is also happening. Is the enlightenment process is they are generalizing a state of being that is free of negativity. It's actually a broader step than some of same process, but a broader step. It's saying, I don't really care about the conditions. I can be wealthy or I can be poor. I can be, doing this job or I can be doing this job. It doesn't really much matter. What I want is I want to be free of the ups and downs of this reality, or at least limit it to a point where the downs are not a destructive cycle where I keep myself attached to these thoughts that are generating suffering for myself. Because again, most of suffering is just from identifying with those thoughts. So the process is creating moments in your whole day that are peaceful and blissful. And again, if you can create one blissful moment, can you create one more? And then what you do is just keep on doing that and stuff. And so whenever you get into angry mode, you should just say, no, that's not me. I'm this person. I'm a blissful person. And then maybe an angry thought will come in, or no, that's not me. I'm a blissful person. No, that's not me. I'm a blissful person. And you continue to do that. And what happens is you just separate from this negativity, and then bliss just proliferates instead. And that's how you're able to create this state of being of bliss. And that's what I'll leave it with today. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'm very thankful for anyone that does watch my videos. Take care.